Hey guys, my name's Ben. I hope everybody is staying safe and healthy. I know in the current climate, everybody's mind is focused on the current epidemic, but I'd like to talk to you for a couple of minutes about the opioid epidemic, which is still a real problem in this country. In 2017, there were 50,000 opioid overdose deaths, and that made overdoses the #1 injury-related death in the United States. One of the drugs that we use and I've used as a first responder on the front lines combating these overdoses is called naloxone. It's commonly referred to as Narcan, and it can literally reverse an opioid overdose. And I've personally used it and saved several people's lives on the street. It's an incredible drug, and I'd like to spend a couple of minutes telling you about how opioid overdoses happen, about how naloxone works, and the steps that you can take to potentially save a life. So all the information that I'm giving you today came from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the National Institutes of Health, the Oxford Academic Pain Medicine Journal, and the National Fire Department in-service program on naloxone administration, as well as my experience over the last 6 years administering this drug to patients and treating them post-overdose. So the way that opioids work is by blocking the pain receptors in the brain and spinal cord, and that produces the euphoric and analgesic effects that the drugs are known for. This is the same mechanism that, if the drugs are abused, can result in an overdose. So if too much of the drug is taken at once or too high a dose is taken, you can flood those receptors, and it literally shuts down the brain's respiratory drive, and your body forgets to breathe. So what naloxone does is blocks those opioid pain receptors and can literally reverse that overdose process and start that respiratory drive again. So this here is Narcan. This is what I'm talking about. If you see one, it will look just like this. So it's 4 milligrams in a nasal atomizer. You don't really need to know that. This is the most common form. These can be found at homeless shelters, they can be found at community service centers, healthcare facilities are passing these out. A lot of addicts will actually carry this on their person. I've even seen tattoos of people on their bodies that say, "Give naloxone, give Narcan," because they are so familiar with how it works. So this is the drug and the delivery device all in one. It's very convenient, it's very easy to use. This end goes in the victim's nose. This end is the button that you push to administer the drug. When you push the button in the patient's nose, you give them 4 milligrams. Once you've done that, there are some things that I think it's important for you to know. This drug, depending on how hardcore a user you're dealing with, this drug can potentially send them into immediate detox, which means that they will get potentially violently ill, flu-like symptoms, nausea, vomiting, headache, blurry vision, fever, and they can be violent or combative. So if you're giving this to someone that you don't know, you might want to get a little bit of distance between the two of you after you've given this drug, just to be on the safe side. And it's also really important that I've literally seen this bring people back from the dead. They have been not breathing at all, and we administer this, and a couple minutes later, they're up and talking to us like nothing happened. So even if they wake up and they act like they're fine, they're sitting there and talking to you, they say they're okay, please call emergency services. That is the most important thing that I want you to take from this, is that this drug wears off. So if they've taken enough opiate drugs and this wears off, they can overdose again in a matter of minutes. So please, if you have an opportunity to give this drug, please call emergency services so that these people can get continuing care. So today, with all that being said, I think that I've adequately covered what naloxone is, how it works, how opioid overdoses happen, and some steps that you can take in an emergency to potentially save someone's life. I really appreciate you guys' time. Thank you very much, and have a good day.